Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name's Julie and this is my channel, Julie Buddha, and if you're new here I do various different things of content. It's a lot of sort of middle-aged, midlife content covering anything from weight loss to health to exercise to perimenopause to clothing try-ons, you name it. It's a bit in there, a little bit of everything, even some craft. If you're not new and you're existing, thank you for coming back. I can't get my words out, it's that long since I did a proper video. I promised this update video a couple of weeks ago and I even put it on my community page, and I've just not had a chance to sit down and record it. I sat down to record at the weekend and I wasn't happy with what I'd said and what I'd done, and I got all the imposter syndrome back, so I decided I'd just have another go. And hopefully I'm not sort of like breaking my teeth in because I feel like I can't get my sentences out. So where do I start? It's a long time since I did an update and I thought I'd just do a bit of a chatty update with you, so if you want to grab a drink, maybe now pause the video and do that. But I'm starting off with work and that's the major one, and I probably will give it away in the title of this video, but I have quit yet again. So if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I was in my previous job for just under 10 years and was really happy until we had a change in management. I was working really long hours and I really wasn't happy, and it was just getting worse and worse, and decided to change jobs for my own sanity and for work-life balance. And if you've been watching me since I changed jobs, you'll know that that simply did not happen. The job I applied for never really materialised. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled with what I was doing, and I wasn't really enjoying life. I seemed to be working really long hours. It was expected that I'd be on at 7 AM in the morning for an Australian call and still be on at 7 PM for sorting stuff out with the States, and it just was starting to grind me down. I was starting to feel a bit of burnout. I actually wasn't feeling very well at all. So there's a couple of times I've applied for jobs and gone for jobs and I've even been offered them, but they didn't seem quite right, so I turned them down. I'm sorry, I'm swinging in my chair, I must stop because it's probably very annoying. Then I kind of gave up looking for a little bit and thought, no, I'm going to try and make it work, see if I can make it work. And then I was working weekends and long hours, and it's affecting my home life, it's affecting my health. And I'd been to see a friend who actually ended up in hospital because of a work situation and burnout, and she said to me, please don't carry on like you are doing. You can end up like me, you're going to be in the hospital, or you're going to end up really like damaging yourself. And it really kind of sunk in, and I took on board what she said. And I think when I got home, I got loads of messages on Teams coming through on my phone, and it was really late at night, and I just thought, do you know what, she's right. And I looked on LinkedIn and saw a job that I thought would be perfect for me. So I sent my CV off and a cover letter 11 o'clock at night on the Wednesday, with no expectations whatsoever, because obviously these things, so many people apply to them these days, it's really tough to get an interview even. And like I said, I wasn't holding my breath, but it looked like a nice job. 10 to 9 the next day, I'd got a phone call from the agency saying, can I just go through your CV and you'd be perfect. So I was very excited. She asked whether she could send my CV over to the employer, and she did, and literally within about an hour I've got an interview booked in for the following day. So I went over on my lunch break to have an interview, took an extended lunch break, and I got the job. I got the job there and then. It sounds like it's going to be real hard work to start with. It's in quite a mess, but I love that. I love a challenge, and it isn't the challenge that scares me in my current job, it's just not the right job. So I'm very excited. So I handed my notice in the following week once I got my offer letter through, and it's been a lot of negotiation. Lots of people at my current job are trying to get me to stay. I've had phone calls with the States and all sorts asking me to stay, but ultimately I didn't want to. I think when you get to that stage where you've made your mind up, you have to go with your gut feeling. And even though I probably could have got myself a nice little roll out of it, quite a lucrative little number, I really wasn't interested. It was never about the money for me. It was, obviously it is about the money because you go to work to earn a living, to have a life, but it was the having a life bit that was missing, and also just the job satisfaction just wasn't there. So all the phone calls I had trying to talk me around, I'd already made my mind up and I wasn't staying. So I leave this job on the 31st of May and start my new one on the 1st of June. So I'm really excited, and I feel like I'm starting a new school. I've got to go and get myself a backpack, a new stationery, a diary and all the rest of it, so I feel fully kitted out for my new job. And I also need to get some work clothes, because you'll know if you've been on my channel for a while and since the start, I've worked from home for years. And I mean, since the pandemic I've been fully at home and fully remote, But prior to the pandemic, I did 2 days at home and 3 days in the office. But I've been different sizes since then. I've been up and I've been down in weight. So I really don't have any office attire that fits me. I mean, I get away with this kind of top, don't get me wrong, but I've got to get a few new bits. Work trousers, that kind of thing. So I've got to at some point soon you'll see a try on haul, because I'll have some new clothing hopefully to wear to work. So yeah, I'm going to be office based 5 days a week initially. This job, when it was advertised, was office based, and I did say to them it's a bit of a deal breaker for me and I really want to be able to work from home a couple of days a week and be hybrid. And they said yeah, fine, after probably about 12 weeks of probably my probation, but also just whilst I get everything sorted out. And then they'll let me work from home 2 days a week, which is ideal because then I get to break my week up, be out of the house. But what it also means being in the office is that I log on when I get there and I log off when I leave. And there is none of this staying logged on till 10 or 11 at night. It's too easy to do that when you work from home, and I really want to be able to get back into a routine and a pattern. Start as I mean to go on, of not doing all this extra. I mean, obviously in accounts, anyone who works in sort of finance knows that around month end you're expected to get your work done, so you work a few extra hours on the expectation that you then have a little bit of an easier time towards the end of the month. But I've not had that privilege for my last couple of jobs, so I'm really hoping that I can get in this one and set my stall out from the beginning. So yeah, that's my exciting bit of news. So I will be office based, so Eddie will be at home with Luna, still working from home, because she would be my main worry, is that Luna's never ever been left. Ever since we've had her, there's been someone at home with her. When we first had her, I was in the office for a couple of days a week, but Chloe was at college, so she was at home, and then Tom was at college, so he was at home, and then the pandemic happened and we were all at home, so she's never ever been left since we've had her in the nearly 7 years. I didn't want to, she gets real sort of like separation anxiety. If we go out for a couple of hours, she's not in a good way. So, and I know she probably would get used to being left a little bit, but I really wouldn't want to do that to her. So it was really important that we could still accommodate that. So even if Eddie had to get a job and has to go into the office eventually, as long as he can do a couple of days at home and I can do a couple of days at home, or Chloe can come over, we're fine. So yeah, that's the big work news and big reveal from a work point of view. What else have I got to tell you about? So as part of my new job, obviously I'm going to be working in the city centre, and the parking is really expensive, and obviously fuel's expensive. So I think initially I'm going to be getting the train to work. The train station from where I live is about a 20-minute walk. So I'm currently thinking of walking to the train in the morning, getting the train to the office, well, into the city centre, and then walking. It's probably going to be about a 15-minute walk at the other end. So I'll be getting plenty of walks in the morning, and then when I finish it'll be a walk back to the train station, then walk from the train station home, unless Eddie comes to pick me up. I'm thinking that he might walk down with Luna and we'll walk Luna back along the canal. So I'll get my walking in and hopefully increase my steps, because some days working from home, I'm lucky if I do like 3,000 steps. Some days, if I don't take Luna out because I'm busy, I can end the day on just a few hundred steps. It's really not healthy. Obviously, they say, don't they, that sitting is the new smoking, so I really need to get myself moving. So I'm hoping that will give me some cardio, and that obviously, oh, there's a delivery. Sorry about that, an unexpected delivery, so I had to quickly pause because Luna was going ballistic. So, where did I get to? Getting the train to work, walking. Don't know where I got to now, but anyway, I'll be walking to the train station, and that's initially what I'll be doing that. And I think if I get a season ticket, it works out quite cheap. I think it's like, well, not cheap, but cheaper than driving in and paying for parking. At the moment, the government have got this scheme with the buses where it's £2 each way. So technically the bus is cheaper than the train at the moment, but when that scheme stops, the bus will be more expensive than the train. Now currently the office I'm in is quite close to the train station. It's down that end of Nottingham. If they move where they're supposed to be moving to, it'll actually be close to the bus station. So I may decide at that point to switch to the bus. I'm not sure, but I'm going to see how it goes. Like I say, I see it as being a good way of getting extra steps in without having to do anything. I just need to get my note paper, because I wrote down some notes of things I wanted to talk about. So yeah, that brings me on to my next point, which is weight and fitness. So as many of you who watch me know, because you're probably similar age to me, and you're probably perimenopausal or menopausal, you struggle with your weight at this point. No matter what I seem to do, I'm struggling. And I just seem to have this big, like, pregnant looking belly all the time, and it's really depressing that I'm not as high weight as I was at my highest, and yet I can't fit in clothes I fit in then. I don't know what's going on there. And everything I've read seems to suggest that the best way is to do weight training. It seems to suggest weight training and HIIT training. So HIIT training would be more likely a short 20-minute burst, as it said, not a prolonged period. They tell you not to do the HIIT that's like an hour long. So I've been looking at different workout programs, and I've been trying to do bits, but obviously with work like it is at the moment, it's really hard to fit it in. But there is a program I was looking at that on a Facebook group I'm in said that this Beachbody program called, I think it's 645, I think you do it 6 days a week, 45 minutes a day. It's supposed to be really good if you're menopausal, so I might explore doing that. I don't want to start anything that's a big time commitment until I work out my commuting and working out making dinner and all the rest of it. But that's on the cards. Yesterday, I went out and did a run. And this was the first time I've run for a long time. I've started Couch to 5k again from the beginning because I know that my fitness isn't there at the moment, and hopefully it'll come back quite quick and I don't have to do the whole plan from start to finish. But yesterday I struggled with week 1, day 1, so I know I've got to work at it. And obviously I know when I go out for a walk I'm out of breath, I've got a lot of shortness of breath, so I'm not going to push it. I'm going to take my time and enjoy it. So I went to the park to go and do a run, and I decided to tag along, and I took Luna. So Luna and I did a run walk, Couch to 5k, week 1, day 1. So I'm really pleased with myself for getting out there and doing it, and I'm going to try and keep it up if I can. Like I say, once I start doing all this walking, it might change things slightly, but I'm very excited. So I'm hoping that starts to help with my overall health and my overall fitness if I start building all these things in. Obviously I know that you can't out exercise a bad diet, and I do think on the whole my diet's actually okay. If you've watched my What I Eat in a Days, I tend to be making healthy choices when I go out for food. I haven't necessarily been calorie counting, and some days I've started calorie counting and it's just fallen by the wayside, because when you're really busy, you're in meetings and someone else is having to prepare lunch for you and you're scoffing it off camera while you're in a meeting, it's really not that easy to A, film a What I Eat in a Day, and B, record your calories, because you just forget to do it, and then by the time you get around to it later, you've got onto your next meal and you just forget it. So that's that part. So I'm going to continue trying to eat healthily but not necessarily track calories. I think I'm getting quite good now at working my weights out and stuff by looking at my plate of food. And I'm also hoping that if I'm going to start meal prepping in order to be organised for being in the office, so I'll prep my breakfast and my lunch and possibly even dinner. If I can do that and kind of work the calories out, then I won't be kind of counting them on a daily basis, because I'll kind of know what I'm having for my meals. So that's my plan from a weight loss point of view. I am tempted to go back, like I say, I will be doing more What I Eat in a Days. That's definitely my intention, because I'm hoping that once I'm into this routine, perhaps when I'm on the train I'll be able to edit videos if I've got headphones in and stuff. So I'm hoping I'll have that bit of time where I can do these things that I'm not getting at the moment. So that's my plan. I'll never say never. I mean, I might go back to counting calories. I might decide that I need that control, and it might be that I have that headspace back, that I can actually feel like I can do it. But right now I just don't have that, and I know quite a few of you have struggled with things like that recently as well. And I think sometimes when you're doing this weight loss thing for a long time, it's really hard, and your mojo kind of goes like this. And I wouldn't say my mojo's bad at the minute, but I wouldn't say that I could necessarily focus on a proper, sort of harsh plan of any kind. So yeah, that's my weight and that's my health and fitness and what I'm intending to do. So hopefully if you're interested, keep watching. What else have I got to update you on? Not a huge amount really. I think this channel, I'm hoping I will be able to grow now that I'm going to be working in a job where I'm working proper hours, and I'm going to have time to edit videos and things either on my lunch break or on the train to or from work. I'm really hoping I can build on this channel, and I'm hoping to be able to go out and get a camera, because at the minute I do all my vlogging on my phone, which obviously affects the sound quality, because even Eddie says sometimes if you watch my videos you can't hear me very clearly. So they're the things I'm planning on doing to hopefully improve my content. But you can certainly expect to see more clothing hauls and What I Eat in a Days, and hopefully there'll be more craft videos. So I did one craft video and said, right, I'm going to try and do these weekly or whatever, and I haven't done it, and that's partly because I haven't done a huge amount of craft. I'm still doing the coronation blanket, and that's because of work, but I'm hoping this is going to improve and it's all going to start to come together. But also I'm hoping just to do more sort of general vlogs and stuff, even if it's just sort of, you know, my day-to-day, like going to work and stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can start to grow the channel a bit more. So if you're interested and you like my content and you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, because it makes such a difference, and YouTube will then obviously, you know, it'll improve the algorithms, it'll suggest me to other people, and it'll help to grow my channel. So that's it really. I don't think I've got a great deal else to report on. Is there anything? It's my wedding anniversary at the weekend, and it'll be 29 years this year, so it's a big one. Well, not a big one. Big one will be next year. But yeah, 29 years. We've made it to 29 years. So I'm not sure what we're doing for that yet, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of celebration. So if I do any weekend vlog or what I eat, that may not be as healthy. There may be treats in there. But yeah, I have recorded lots of content for a craft video. I did coronation bunting, and I've recorded bits of that, and I haven't even had a chance to look at the footage and edit it, so I'm hoping at some point to do that too. I made myself a target, and I'm ticking off my list of all my admin jobs that I'm supposed to do. My email inbox had got to the stage where I've got like 29,000 unread emails, which is just shocking. And it's because I'd look at my phone and I'd be like, open it and think, oh, I'll read them later, and then I'll be working and not read them, not go back to them, and then they just sit there and build and build and build, and then it gets such a job where you just think, I can't just go through my phone now and delete them, I need to do them in bulk. So I sat down at the weekend and I deleted loads. I think I'm down to about 5,000. So my target is for this week to get them right down to zero. Well, not zero, but you know, just so I'm getting my day-to-day ones and keeping on top of it. I helped Tom with his student finance application for his last year of his degree, so that's been done. He's applied for a passport, so we've done that. And what else have we been working on? I've been doing lots of admin and life admin and things. But yeah, I've got a list of other stuff that I need to get through and do. And at some point, I need to look at my pensions and get my pensions sorted, because I've got little pensions everywhere. And like where I've been working, even when I've worked somewhere for 10 years, they've changed pension provider. So I've got little pockets of money all over the place, and just need to see whether I can combine it all. I need to go and see a financial advisor. So yeah, that's me rabbiting on about nothing that you're not even interested in at this point probably, but Chloe's still coming over and doing her stuff. This is her studio now. I used to work in here as an office, but I don't now. My desk in the corner is now my craft area, so I've got my sewing machine out on it, and I'm keeping it for that. There is stuff for my current job that I've already boxed up, so my big monitor I was using, I've already boxed that up. I've got my keyboard and my laptop riser all boxed up, all ready to go. So after my last day, they'll send a courier and they'll pick that up, and that'll be that. Oh, I've just suddenly thought, I've got potatoes on board, I bet they've burnt. I've just heard someone come charging downstairs. I've got roast chicken for dinner, I better go and sort it. So I'm going to end the video here very quickly, shut off very abruptly there. And yeah, I shall see you very soon for the next one. Take care, bye!